What's up, everybody? Thank you all for joining us for the first ever game of the Collegiate Championship Series here between Framingham State and Becker College. We're all prepping in the game lobby right now. My name is Lee Kelvar Madroni, joined here by William, Willie Solares, whatever you want to call yourself. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How have you been?
Crazy. Setting this up has been nuts.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild, but I'm pretty excited for today.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what these guys got in store for us. So, with that, we're going to kind of kick it into Champ Select pretty quick because we are getting a late start. So let me just let these guys know we're good to go. Start it up, boys and girls, and we will get right into the Champ Select.
The two teams playing right now are Becker and Worcester, if I'm not mistaken. Awesome.
Worcester is on the blue side, Becker is on the right.
Or it's Framingham.
Or Framingham,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
excuse
Yeah,
me.
Framingham is on the left side, Becker is on the right side.
All right.
Here we go. Bada bing. There we go. We got to move for the camera. We're a little awkwardly close.
All right, here,
And
can we back this up? Oh, nice forehead.
Thanks, bro. It's shiny. Let me fix that filter real quick. Filter. This is the first series. Awkward setup. Let's go. And we can just scoot that way.
All right.
Good enough. We're fine.
Oh,
We're
okay.
good.
So they're
Cool.
definitely doing their research on the pick and ban phase. I actually know that Framingham's top laner likes to run Udyr top. So,
Udyr top.
yeah, for sure something that they've looked into a little bit.
So it's interesting to see, right? I know that the new patch just came out and stuff. We have seen a lot of variation in this. I'm curious to see. We did see, I think, what was it? Becker last week pulled out an Urgot, and it wasn't very successful.
No,
if I recall.
Yeah. Kind of looks like they've looked up like their top 3 champions and are spanning them out. I know they have a really big Silas player as well. They've definitely done their research.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this because we're going to. Oh, the Silas band's actually really nice to see, as well as the Sejuani. So that Kennen pick right there signals to me one thing and one thing only, and that is comfort. Because if there's one thing that I've seen from Eclipse in the top lane is that guy plays Kennen. A lot of Kennen. So we'll have to see what these guys respond with on the other side. Alright. What do we got? But looking at these bands, they look pretty standard, right? Like, it's just a Sejuani. Oh, sorry.
No.
Yeah, it's just a Sejuani, it's just Sivir, Morgana, pretty standard things aside from, maybe the Udyr, but obviously, like you said, that's probably just a result of their scouting.
Yeah, and it seems to be, regular pick and ban, pretty meta with Lissandra mid and Nunu jungle. That's going to be really, really nice for engages and CC. The onus is going to be more on Lissandra, though, to make up with those engages with her claw. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's
the Glacial Path or something, I think? Yeah.
She's going to have to set up a good engage, and what Framingham's going to have to look out for is they're going to have to dodge that initial engage and look to have a team fighting comp with what they have going on. Because they have Kennen, and then they'll have
look at that.
J4 and Yasuo, so that'll be a nice wombo right there.
Yeah, just partnering the Jarvan and the Kennen is enough, but the Yasuo, that just screams I want to, kind of carry this game.
Exactly. And they probably should have mid-priority, seeing as Yasuo is going to have the shove, but obviously it is going to depend. I know that they did do some nerfs on Lissandra's mana a bit, but it's really not that much.
I mean, even still, they still have, what is it, mana flow ban for in lane, like, so she's still massive. I'm really interested, is it going to be an Aftershock for Lissandra? Because, we have a Yorick and a Nunu on the other side. That's quite a bit of tank, right?
Yeah, I'd kind of assume so, to be honest, especially into a champion like Yasuo. Like, I would not want to run anything else and run the risk of, like, hey, we'll fight fire with fire.
Yeah, and like that, we do see the Alistar band coming out, coupled with, on the side of Framingham, the Thresh band. So that's interesting, because we do have, like you said, already multiple tanks on the side of Becker. We need to pull this up just so I can see this easier.
I am curious as to what they are going to pull up for an AD carry pick, because they did ban out the Sivir, or Framingham banned out the Sivir, and that would have gone really well with this comp. But, I mean, I am curious. They could go for something like Vayne or like Caitlyn, from what I'm understanding. It'll be interesting to see for sure.
So here's another question, too, is looking at, they banned the Jinx. Actually, that's funny, because Jinx has been running rampant, at least in my solo queue games. Jinx has been doing so well dealing with lane pressure, and if she gets ahead at all, or if she just, survives, she becomes a monster. So seeing that Jinx ban is really exciting.
Bard pick, I like it.
Yeah, well.
Oh, and they definitely contested that Caitlyn pick, so it's going to be, I'm curious if they're going to try and go with something like a Lucian pick or something like Vayne, where they're just going to try to sit back and just scale. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have a scaling thing, comp, right? They have a Nunu, they have a Caitlyn, and Caitlyn is just going to be a monster bully in lane, right? That's
exactly,
what she does.
Yeah, that's
so,
why you're choosing her. So now it's gonna. I'm curious. Excuse me.
They pick a Twitch.
That's interesting.
A Twitch and a Bard against a Caitlyn? Okay,
Yeah,
that's two cross paths, don't you think?
Oh yeah, I feel like. Watch, this team's gonna end up picking like a Leona or something to help with this like hard engage, especially bot lane where you have a lot of kill pressure. Like for example, if she were to get a stun, or even Braum, that works
yeah,
too.
like
so, yeah, no, that's nice CC, and especially with her traps, if you can pair that with Caitlyn or Braum stun, like they should be set.
I mean, looking at these lanes, right? I have to admit, like I think Framingham picked not the best bottom lane to deal with this.
No, I don't think so for sure.
But, like, Bard's generally one of those really hyper-aggressive champions, but as soon as you saw that Caitlyn, right, you knew that that wasn't going to be a fun lane.
Yeah, they're going to be more lane-focused, where Bard wants to be roaming around the map, wants to set up plays, wants to be the one who is facilitating engages, and so it's going to make it a bit tricky to see how the support and ADC are going to handle, just because you know that Caitlyn's going to have a shoving lane.
Yeah.
So there's going to be this communication on, hey, like maybe if I'm pushing out this wave, have the jungler come bot or assist or something like that.
So here's my question for you, right? Is both of us are jungle mains. That's where we come from, right? So Nunu versus Jarvan. How do you think that works out in the early game comparatively to the late game? Because I know personally from my experience with Nunu, he's pretty safe to do pretty much whatever he wants.
So the
at
whole
least
thing,
early.
The whole thing with Nunu is he obviously has a kind of a weak clear, but like the thing you have to watch out for is for him invading, and it can be really annoying if he ends up 3-buffing you, because then you're going to be set behind an XP either way.
Yes.
Oh, it is?
What's up? Oh no, this is the real one. Sorry. Oh, does it? Ah, there we go. Thank you for the heads up.
Yeah, thanks.
Bada bing. Haha.
Nice.
Production value.
Yeah, and so basically all Nunu wants to do is either contest you at your neutral objectives early, or he's probably one of the easiest lane gankers in the game, honestly, especially with the snowball. Going bot lane or top lane seems to be fairly easy just because of how close those lanes can be, depending on how pushed up they are. And then with Jarvan, I think he's going to want to be the one who ganks early and cause some pressure onto Nunu, and so that their solo laners or bot lane feels pressure to where they need jungle assistance. I think overall, Jarvan can have the upper hand here. It just depends on pathing and where they go and how their laners are obviously interacting.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too. If we're just looking at how lanes are interacting, right? If we take a look at just these lanes, you know, top, jungle, mid, pretty much across the board, Framingham outranks Becker. And I know that rank in solo queue comparatively to, you know, team play is much different, but it's one of those things where is this gap going to be big enough, you know, where that team play doesn't make a difference, right? Is someone going to stomp in lane so hard that, you know, the game doesn't go past 20 minutes, or is the team play going to come out from Becker? Like, there's a lot of different things that could go wrong, or, you know, could happen.
So that's a little tricky. I'm not sure, really. Like, we're going to have to see. Like, this is a best of 3 still, so we're going to have a rough idea. And even if, like, Becker just rolls over one game, that doesn't mean they're just going to get stomped another.
Yeah.
So they could easily clean up their issues there.
Yeah, if you remember before the test stream, right, we did with Becker, I think it was Becker versus Worcester then. Becker actually got a really early lead off of Worcester. Worcester came back and won the series 2-0, but in that first game, it was looking like Becker was going to run away with it because they had like something like 8 kills to 1 come like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, it did look like it was in their favor. It's honestly, we're just going to have to wait and see, really.
All right, cool. With that, we're going to take a quick 30-second swap over, and we'll be right back. All right, and into game 1 we go. FSU versus Becker College, and we're going to get into this game and see how this series could pan out eventually.
I am curious because Caitlyn is running Conqueror as well as Yasuo, so that's going to feel really nice in lane.
Yeah, and that is the new Conqueror that we're bringing out. Actually, if we look at it, right, we have Conqueror on the Caitlyn, and I think we have, what is that, Press the Attack on Twitch?
Yeah, which is interesting for sure. That's definitely going to be better for late game.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a little rough through the laning phase.
Yeah.
You can kind of see they're just kind of getting basic vision. I'm curious if they're going to step up and try and contest this push, but it doesn't seem like either team really wants to move forward right now. You can see Kennan's up in the top brush and has vision there. but maybe might want to step up. But
yeah, they're just kind of doing the line of scrimmage right now. But
yeah.
I don't see any wards.
No wards I don't think have been placed yet.
Yeah.
Except for Twitch placed him. Yeah, and Try. Probably because he was scared of the level 1 threat of Caitlyn and Braum, especially with him running Ignite with his passive. Like, you're in for a pretty brutal time if that were to happen.
Yeah, but
So,
it's going to be pretty standard. Yeah. So we're going to have pretty much a same side start. They're both junglers are going to be starting on the bottom side of the map. Nunu on his blue and Jarvan on his red side. So they're going to be looking topside somewhere around 3 minutes or so, depending upon which path they do decide to take, unless they want to try some cheeky stuff. And we're off to the races here. So I guess before any of the action starts, looking at these lanes, right? We pretty much talked about bot lane, how that's going to work out. But what about top lane? What about Yorick versus Kennen?
I honestly think... so it's kind of tricky. It's more what's his wall? Yorick's wall, is it his W?
Oh, I have no idea what his name is. Yeah.
If whatever the case is, if he can land that while Kennen's rushing at him, then he should be fine. Like, all Yorick really wants to do is scale until 6. To be fair, he's kind of useless until then, and really can't do much with the split push game unless he has his ulti. So he's probably going to just look to farm till 6, block any engages that Kennen might try to make or force onto him, and then, just take it like that. Kennen wants to probably kill this guy, and if not, just roam, because he does have such a strong team fighting presence that, even if they just scale, he's fine either way. So it's really going to be more determined by the jungle matchup and where they want to go versus like the actual laners, because both laners initially just want to scale.
Ooh, that could have been really good if that was in range, but just a little bit out of it.
Yeah, Lissandra did bring Ignite too, so it is going to be more of a kill lane on her, and that is going to make it a little hard if she does get poked out early.
That's interesting. Lissandra normally runs, at least I normally run TP on Lissandra.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's for me not being confident or what.
I think it should probably have... and there's an early gank.
Yeah, Snowball comes in from the Nunu. He's going to get the snare down with his snowballs, and first blood goes to Nunu. That is the Nunu main, my buddy, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so that was really interesting. Note that Yasuo actually brought Ignite. He didn't bring Cleanse into Lissandra, so later as this game goes on, if he is caught out in misposition without a QSS, it is probably going to be a death.
Yeah, it looks like Caitlyn also might have got hit by a cheeky Bard Q as well.
Yeah,
she took a lot of damage there. They are pushing into the tower, which is what you can expect from a Braum Caitlyn lane, but that could mean that there's another roam bot lane for a jungle gank here, since they are so pushed up.
Yeah, both junglers are topside though. You can see that Kennen is more on Yorick's side and is trying to shove him under. So I am curious to see if Nunu will go up. It's no big deal that Yasuo ended up dying. He died to the jungler, so he doesn't have to worry too much. There is going to be a gold difference, but he can probably make that up with his CS lead.
Yeah, actually, let me see if I can get... Yeah, of course it won't work right now, but we do see the lanes kind of stabilizing after that. Nunu is going topside here. Kennen and Jarvan are both top. This could be a counter gank option here. The snowball is coming in. The wall does miss on Kennen. He does get the Q. They're going in. Jarvan does come out of the bush. The snowball does land onto Jarvan. Does he have the slow to keep his top laner alive? The snare does not land, but the red buff Nunu doing so much, slowing Eclipse for so long. He is still burning down, but it does not look like he's going to be able to get the kill. But Jarvan does go back in. He's throwing for the snowball, rolling right through. The wall does miss and force the flash out of Eclipse, but now Fixie's top lane looking for the kill onto Yorick. He is so low. Yorick does not have a flash or anything left, but Eclipse is running through with his lightning rush. Flash forced out of the Nunu, and Eclipse does finally pick up the Yorick kill after an extended about 1 minute.
Yeah, that looked pretty bad for a second. It looked like it was going to go over to Becker, and it looked like FSU didn't initially intend for Nunu to be coming top. But thankfully, Yasuo roamed, and that ended up being a net positive for them.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I would expect in this game, right? That was a really nice roam from Fixie. If he had not roamed up, that could have been really dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. You could see that they were both baiting each other in, with the beginning of Yorick being like, oh, I'm kind of caught out, haha.
Yeah, but the snowball still land. Oh, is he going for the sound?
Going?
That is risky. You are a Nunu, but you don't have that much healing at level 4. Oh, that feels so bad. And that's another kill of the Kennen here, and that's going to spell trouble.
Oh, is there going to be a solo kill?
Oh, he does get the snare. The Ignite does go down, force the flash, but I think she's done
nerf?
anyways.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that Ignite nerf was not enough.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that is still 3-1 for FSU now at this point in the game.
And now it's in their favor. And now what they can do is essentially just contest River Vision, contest Crabs, and then when they want, make moves onto the Infernal Drake. So that's going to be very important for this team.
Yeah, and this is kind of scary too, right? If we look at the team comps, I would probably say that, the Caitlyn has a much better early game than the Twitch, and right now it's pretty even. And with top lane in the jungle, and actually mid lane right now, going so heavily in the favor of FSU, when they pretty much have a late game team fight comp, it's looking pretty scary already at 6 minutes in.
And you have to think about the engage tools that FSU has versus Becker. While Becker does have a tank that can go in, he can't exactly get out. And while that is true for Jarvan, he has Wamba to follow that up. Lysandra also has to go in, but it's still going to be fairly squishy, and it's also going to depend on her ult timings. But there still is the chance that no one really is running in cleanse, and you're not going to see QSS for a little bit. So, they might be a bright spot in the mid game.
Yep, and the mid laners do just now hit 6. A little bit more trading back and forth, but just look at the CS difference in the mid lane, right? That's nearly 20 CS just for Yasuo, as well as a kill up early on. So that's going to be rough. Yeah. And the red buff for Kennen, that's just insult to injury.
They're for sure going to feel that in the lane.
Yeah. That's really tough for Yorick, who just kind of wants to, farm up and do what he can, and then split push eventually, right?
It does look like they are contesting for some River Vision by bot side, but looks like they moved to mid.
Jarvan's looking for the mid, but more fighting in the bottom lane. Flash force out of Twitch, but here comes the ultimate from Lysandra to keep herself alive. She does not have a flash any longer. Does get the snare. Beautiful. It looks like she's out of there, but Yorick now getting run down by the Kennen. Doing so much. He does pop the ghouls, pop the ultimate, but it doesn't quite look like enough, as Yorick's going to get out of there, and that was a pretty decent trade back and forth between the two of them to take a losing trade and turn it back into sort of even for Yorick.
Yeah, and that's not bad. They don't lose any summoners for that. It looks like Lysandra's still holding on to Ignite, and, really nothing lost.
Yeah, and still, if we look at this, right, we did get the flash out of Twitch now. So that could signal to the junglers.
That was definitely positive for Becker. The strong point is there. Oh, they are going in.
Nice stun there from the Chimey boy, but again, the Braum stops a lot of that damage from going through. Twitch going in onto them as Jarvan goes through, forces the flash out of Bowler Joe, jump from the Braum, flash from the Braum, heal from the Caitlyn, and they're out of there at the cost of every one of their summoners.
Yeah, they're out. Did Jarvan have ult? Yeah, no, that's still fine because you can just make a repeat gank once they decide to push because of how the lane works. They're always going to end up having a natural push on them anyways.
Yeah, and did he have ultimate up for that
He
fight?
did. Well, it could be a spectator bug, to be completely honest. You never know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But we do have Nunu rolling in the mid lane. Here he comes, the snowball, the largest snowball ever, the glacial path. Not exactly going where you want it to go, and just like that, Fixie's going to walk out of that with no damage taken. Does actually even get the wind knock up. But Fixie's going in. He dashes in, gets the snare from Lysandra, but still looks like he comes out pretty nice on that trade since he got so much out of Nunu, but he will be able to heal that up.
Alrighty.
Look at these turret platings too. That is a huge wave for Caitlyn not to be able to get with this bullying here, which is funny because it's, Bard and Twitch bullying a Caitlyn right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. You can already see that about 9 minutes in, FSU's about 2,000 gold ahead, but they are going in now.
Here comes the snowball, the ultimate absolute zero, going to do so much to slow them down, and that is 2 kills for the side of Becker now, evening up the score 3-3, and minimizing that gold lead only to about 800 gold lead.
That was a nice play. Yeah,
that was really nice.
And now they can contest for Infernal Drake, and now that's a really, really nice power spike for this team.
Yeah, and Infernal with the new Dragon setup, that's what, 10%, I think?
I think so. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it should be around there.
But it looks like Jarvan and Yasuo want to contest this Drake here, potentially.
Can they 2v3?
They have a Nunu with Smite and Consume up. That is really risky business. He does smite early, but Red Team does get it, and even though every single smite there was missed, it is still a Nunu, and that is a Drake as well as another kill for Becker, evening up the gold even further to only negligible 200 difference.
Yeah, no, Becker actually coming on top here with a really nice lead and really nice proactive plays, so I am curious to see if they are going to stick to that, and with plays like that, they can probably pull out ahead.
Yeah, and we get to take a look back, right? That was actually an Earth Drake that they did get to take, so that is extra true damage that they'll be able to use on objectives, on those towers, on those turret plates potentially, depending upon where they put their focus, and we get to see where they go within the next 5 minutes or so before the next Drake. Now, back to farming as all of the action has come to a little bit of a lull here. Yorick kind of getting to do what Yorick does now with his split push with his Maiden, doing what they can to get that shoved under tower. The Maiden will go down, but pretty standard here. Nunu snowballing back. Caitlyn and Braum even getting pushed back under their tower. There's so much pressure from this Bard, it looks like, actually. Just doing so much.
Yeah, even after dying 3v2 bot lane, you can see that they're still pulling ahead, but they are going in.
The dash on to Twitch does get the Braum stun with the Ignite, does go down. Beautiful Chimey Boy gets a stun, and they do get a return kill there, but Braum is still going for it. He wants one more stun. He does get the Magical Journey, but Braum beats him to the punch, and it looks like Braum's just going to punch him to death. Gonna get the beatdown with that red buff in the Q, and just like that, he gets another kill. Now Kennen turns it around with the ultimate, and that is a beautiful turnaround from Kennen with the ultimate. Does get the stun and lots of damage onto the top laner, but Nunu stuck in that wall, does not have consume up, and that is 2 kills for Framingham. Now Flash, whirlwind from Yasuo now, does throw the Ignite onto Braum. Beautiful stun. Lissandra does pick up a kill there, as well as I think a shutdown if I recall. But Framingham is shoving in this top lane. They are getting so much turret plating. They are getting so much extra gold from this. They are going to force the TP out.
So overall, just a lot of map movement going on. It seems that the teams are definitely going back and forth for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and even Twitch comes back in, tries to get the flank onto Lissandra. Does get the snare, the red buff.
He does have flash.
Oh, does. He actually uses the Zhonya's, and he's probably going to die because he decided the Zhonya's instead of flash. Little bit of a misplay there from Lissandra, but really good pickup there from, I guess, the Bard, because Bard got it, yeah.
They are getting nice turret plating damage, though. I know that they're also trading on top side, but it looks like bot is also having priority.
Yeah, and it looks like Caitlyn is getting all of that turret plating gold by herself, but just like that, Twitch is getting that turret plating gold by himself, but the snowball does come in, does connect with Twitch. Nunu doesn't do that much damage without his ultimate, even though he does have nice base damage, but he's going to force Twitch off of that mid tower at least.
Alright, so just top lane, clearing some vision. Looks like their bot lane is trying to get some vision in their bot side jungle. Nothing too crazy, but it does look like J4 is going for the Herald. And that'll be very huge for this team if they can get it.
Yeah, and we do see right here, yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah, no, he got it. He just straight up soloed it. And he's onto a Cinderhulk now, so he's going to be in a good position. And if they can clear a lane up to take the tower, even something like bot lane where you can get all that turret plating, that's going to feel really nice. Yeah, especially before it falls.
But here we go. They don't have any vision on the side of Becker here. They're going right in. He does get the 90 caliber net, but that is a nice flank from the Kennen. Gets the double stun, and that is 2 kills for Framingham, picking up the bot lane duo.
Yeah, honestly, if you're Jarvan, just go mid, place it there, and then you can set up some vision after you take the tier 1 tower. I don't think they can hold it, especially with the power of Herald.
Yeah, and with that, it looks like the turret plating does fall, and here we go. They're going to shove in this mid lane. With that turret plating falling, with those extra resistances falling off of that tower, they're going to pick this up, and that's going to be the first turret for Framingham.
Dragon is going to spawn in about 40 seconds here, so, but was it Becker? Yeah, excuse me. Becker does have the vision bot side, so I'm curious to see how this will pan out.
And look at this, too. They do have the Rift Herald that's just going to take that tower, and that's another tower over for the side of Framingham.
And this is going to feel really nice, too, especially with Dragon coming up, so now they have to pay more attention to their lane. They have to reset their waves and try and get it pushing back. But
Snowball goes through, yeah, but does not connect with anyone. They're trying to go onto this Jarvan. The Snowball's just barely too short. He does connect. Flash, yeah. Does not get it. He forces the flash out of Jarvan. The absolute zero for the slow on to Michael Rosen.
Nice Bard ult.
Nice Bard ult connects with 2 members of the enemy team, and Twitch picks up another kill onto Lissandra. This is not looking good for the side of Becker. Another kill over for Framingham. 12-7 now as Nunu is limping away. Twitch forces the flash out of Nunu, but now it looks like Bowler Joe doing what he can. The heal bait, and it looks like Caitlyn's going to get the trade kill at least. So that's overall 3 for 1.
Yeah, it's looking like Bard did a lot of work for them in that team fight there with his ulti hitting both, was it Caitlyn and Nunu, and then his stun having them both under turret, really turned the fight for them.
Yeah, that is huge, and that's actually, what, a 5,000 gold lead nearly at this point in the game, 4.5?
Yeah, okay, and this one's actually an Infernal, so they're for sure going to feel the benefits of that, and they're taking a tier 2 mid turret.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one, it looks like. At this point, 5,000 gold in the side of Framingham for their lead right now. Kennon's pushing in Yorick. He's not going to ever get to do that split pushing thing that he wants to do, it feels like. And 3 towers down for Becker.
Yeah, so they're not in the best spot here. They're probably going to be relegated to really farming their lanes and contesting their jungle. But it's kind of up to the whim of what Framingham decides, because they are for sure in control of this game now.
Yeah, but they are going out to try and clear vision now, trying to do what they can to get control back of this map, even though they've lost a little bit of it with those towers going down so early. And here it is, more farming. Just looking at the sheer numbers, right? Look at all these bounties on the side of Framingham. Like, if Becker is able to connect with a kill on either Kennen, and honestly anyone, that is a lot of gold going back. And while it's not a 5,000 gold differential comeback, it's still going to be feel pretty nice.
You're going to feel the immediate effects of that, and that could go towards finishing your build.
Exactly, and we do get to see the lanes that are kind of, pushing out in favor of Framingham at this point. Yorick's pretty much relegated to just dealing with this top lane from Kennen. Kennen does have the TP available at this point, where Yorick does not.
Yeah, so Framingham should probably look to make a TP play with their advantage that they have, and then set up some vision for Baron, and then just really kind of strangle them out and force them to come to them.
Yeah, and that's probably what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to make a call eventually, right, where something has to happen. The wall does miss from Yorick. He does do a little bit of damage with that poke and the ghouls, but still, Kennen is just a monster right now with that proto belt, with the sword shoes, as well as the codex.
Well, it looks like there's going to be a dive, or if not, just taking the tower top lane. Yorick does have to back off. Yeah, it does. It is unfortunate because Yorick is 0-2 with the Kennen being 4-0, so he's never really going to be able to hit his split pushing potential.
Yeah.
As of right now.
He just barely has those items for a Trinity Force, right? So he's got the Phase, he's got that, and he does, like that, pick up the Trinity Force on that back. So that'll be a little bit nicer for him to deal with. But even still, at this point, dealing with a 4-0-2 Kennen is going to be rough. But now we do see the teams grouping up a little bit. We have kind of that 4-man in the mid lane from Becker, as well as Yorick in the top lane. And bot lane is pushing into Becker's tower here. So, Yasuo does try to go in, 90 caliber net off of Caitlyn. Here we go. Yasuo's just kind of positioning here, really aggressive, saying, hey, what are you doing outside from under your tower? But still nothing happening yet as Framingham take control of the top side of the map.
Yeah, you can really see that Framingham has wards all over their top side jungle and some leading into their bot side jungle. Oh, they are going in.
Yeah, Yasuo goes in onto Yorick there, but he takes too many tower shots. Nice stun, but the wind wall is going to stop so much of that. Braum did what he could, and his ultimate completely got whiffed by that, but now his shield is going to do a lot to stop that. Twitch ultimate. Nunu's coming in with a snowball, does hit Jarvan, but they don't have the chance to engage. Braum is already so low. Caitlyn is the only one that can clear these waves. Yorick's doing what he can, but right now, with the health bars on the side of Framingham, they look like they're positioning for a dive. It looks like Jarvan's ultimate as well as Eclipse's. This is a really dangerous place for them to be right now. Becker is in a bad spot.
Yeah, and Becker really doesn't have any more engaged tools. They just use Braum out and they just use Caitlyn out. So any hope of poking them out or really setting up a nice knockup isn't really, you kind of have to wait those cooldowns out.
Yeah, but it does look like Framingham give up a little bit of the pressure. They back off a little bit. Jarvan does going on to Yasuo rather. Holy cow.
And that is just a 2-shot from both of them.
Yeah, bye-bye Braum. And with that, it looks like they're just positioning to push in the top and the mid lane right now. There's so much pressure here from Framingham just all over the top side, right? Like, they're going to get that top lane pushing. Snowball's coming through for the Nunu, though. Yasuo does see it, does not want to engage in it. They don't like how that looks. Jarvan goes in. He doesn't have the team to back him up yet. Nice wind wall to stop the glacial path there. Nice. Bard ultimate does pick up one person you would want to hit, but just a little too early there. Ultimate from Jarvan goes down onto Caitlyn. Nice absolute zero from Nunu's going to stop that engage. But meanwhile, Twitch is pushing in the mid lane, taking that tower, taking that inhibitor. Braum is the only one there to defend, doing what he can. Eclipse now getting in on the excitement, but it is enough to push them off of that mid lane inhibitor.
All right, and we can also see that Dragon is spawning now. I don't know what it is, though, because the screen always defaults to Infernal.
Yep. It is going to be up in about 5 seconds here, and Framingham is positioning it. We have Twitch and Bard going down there, as well as it looks like Kennen. It is going to be another Earth Drake, so that's Infernal Earth, that is huge. Especially for that Baron pressure,
yeah,
right?
Especially when you can consider that with something like Infernal that just gives you overall damage, stacked with something that is meant for actually killing objectives, like that typically feels pretty nice. That combo of dragons can take Baron down rather quickly, and especially with a team like theirs, with Kennen, Twitch, and Yasuo, you're going to take that like that. So Becker really has to have some vision there, and hope that they somehow make some sort of mistake on an engage.
I mean, I guess the good news here is, right, the gold lead was 5,000, but it hasn't grown. It was 5,000 at 16 minutes. It's still 5,000 here at 21 minutes, right? So that gold lead has not ballooned out of control yet. They've done a good job of kind of negating their losses and kind of minimizing what's happened. And they are kind of still stuck in their own jungle here, but they are prepping and warding up their own side of the map. So at this point, they even have a pink ward on Baron, whereas Framingham pretty much have nothing but anything on their side of the map.
Yeah, it looks like they are able to get a stable hold of their vision, kind of making them come to them, which is nice to see. Caitlyn seems to be poking out Twitch a decent amount with her ulti, but
still, there's a wind wall, right?
Exactly. You're probably not going to be able to get that
off.
Oh,
the sneaky from Twitch forces the flash out of Caitlyn here. They do get the slow with Nunu. Eclipse going on the side. He does have his ultimate available. Does Protobelt in. Gets the stun onto 3 of them. Braum ultimate goes down absolute zero just to slow and save his team. Nice flash. Nice blast plant right there. Does get the rest of the team out except for Braum. He will be the sacrificial lamb. Lysandra is ulted by that Chimey boy, but Framingham picking up Braum feel comfortable enough to take this Baron.
They should probably be careful, seeing as you do have a Nunu with Smite, so even though Jarvan is a level ahead, you're not going to be able to match the true damage onto the objective, but it does look like they are taking it rather quickly, maybe not. He does force it. Really early Smite, but that whirly wind hitting Nunu right there, man, that stopped that whole engage from happening. Nunu could have easily stolen that, but that knock-up saved the day right there. And now it's more of Framingham's game to lose. All they really have to do is just push up to their inhibs, contest them, take everything really, and then just end the game.
Yeah, and we do see them actually pushing in mid lane here, doing what they can.
Yeah, this is kind of
trying to get a little bit of gold back, but this is risky with the rest of Framingham now up at this point. Yeah, Kennen is back, and he does have TP available, however. So I would not be too confident yet. Nice sneaky again from Twitch. Gets a lot of damage just from one auto there. Nunu throwing out the snowball. Does not connect. And I think it was more just posturing to say, hey, we can do this if we want to. But still, Yorick on the side. Split pushing. 4 members of his team in mid lane right now, trying to hold that inhibitor with no tower.
Yeah, so you can see that Twitch and Yasuo are going down the bot side while York is trying to split push. Hopefully he doesn't overextend and kind of... probably is dead here.
Oh man, that dash there. Does get the ghouls, does get the slow. Nice dodge on the whirlwind there. Fixie just barely missing that as a nice sidestep from York comes out. 3-man death brush here with a pink ward. Looks like Nunu's trying to get that Gromp, but that's not your jungle anymore, Nunu. I would be careful. Wind wall does go down. Braum shield to stop the whirlwind. Becker now trying to position for just a fight in a jungle that's favorable to them, but honestly, I don't think anywhere's favorable to them right now unless it's under their own towers.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like they can do much. Anywhere that they go, they have to actually follow Framingham, and then they just kind of end up losing everything anyways.
Yep.
So,
here comes the wall from Caitlyn. The snowball goes through, does not connect. With that, it's only one Baroned up minion. The second wave is coming in now. That is a lot of damage. Oh, he does not get the knockup on anyone, but nice Braum ultimate. Good absolute zero, but Eclipse gets the assassination onto Caitlyn in the back line. That's 3 kills already right now, forcing the flash out of Yorick, and that looks like it's all she wrote with the Baron buff up with 3 kills on the side of Framingham under their own Nexus towers. Right now, Snowball's going to be thrown out, but there's not much more Nunu can do as Fixie is on a rampage, 6-2-1 right now, 25 minutes into the game. Yorick's going to do what he can. The Flag and Drag's not going to do much as Framingham are going to pop that redemption and take game 1.
Woo! Yeah, so that was looking pretty good, like we said in the beginning, for Becker. Like, they did get the first blood, but unfortunately they weren't able to close out.
Yeah. Well, see what I mean, though? Like, the early game went pretty even, and then probably like 15 minutes in or so, Framingham kind of started to take over. That's when the individual skill, I think, kind of started to outshine Becker a little bit.
Exactly, yeah. You can kind of see it in some engages, but to their credit, they still have another game, potentially, 2 more. So we can kind of see how they perform from there. They can probably take an idea of how that game was played, how it should be played, and, how it turned out. So it is kind of like, you live and you learn. So
yeah. So with that, we will be taking a quick 5 to 10 minute break while the teams discuss their next courses of action, and we will be right back with the next series, or with the next game, rather.